here at a Thai restaurant in San Francisco, California, where the local Ron Paul supporter meetup group has gotten together to share a meal and watch the results. I'm here with Stephanie Burns, who's put together you and I think another person put together the meetup group here in San Francisco.
Yes.
Yes. And so far, I mean, how have the results been compared to your expectations?
Oh, well, it's been amazing. I mean, we don't have the results, but I think the results as far as, I don't know what I really expected from San Francisco for, people out on the street, but I think just overall the whole learning experience of being able to refine my views, and I think everybody here feels the same way, and then be able to express them and kind of get out on a national stage. I think, it's really funny because they talk about, him not getting media, and I watch that happen, but also by the same token, a lot of us even have been able to express ourselves, which is really, it's been phenomenal. I mean, we had the LA Times and Fox News. I mean, it was just
Well, and I know one of the articles I was reading, and it might have been in the Chronicle or the LA Times, was about how California has changed, that it's not a winner-take-all state for the Republican primary this year.
Right.
So you guys can still pick up delegates, even if you don't have, the majority of the vote for the state primary.
Yeah, that was actually our intention here in San Francisco, was to focus on San Francisco because it is such a concentrated, you get 3 delegates for this city, basically.
So one of the things I noticed that was interesting, I'm a declined estate, but when I went to the polling place this morning, I could choose to vote in the Democratic primary. And it's my understanding that I couldn't have chosen to vote in the Republican. I would have had to be a registered Republican to vote. And I know at least one person we spoke to, coming out of the polling station at City Hall today, said he would have been interested in voting for Paul, but because he was registered for another party, he couldn't, because he hadn't, basically changed his affiliation in time, he couldn't actually jump. I mean, do you think, especially because Paul is such an because he's against the war, that there would have been many more Democrats who might have jumped had they been able to switch party allegiances more easily?
Yeah, I think that's definite, because I think that the whole race, it depends a lot on, I think, the strength of Obama or Hillary at any particular moment, because, if people feel strongly for Obama and yet they're confident of him winning, then they might be likely to jump to Paul. But if, I think a lot of it has dynamics that change from day to day. So, yeah, I definitely, and a lot of people, I have friends that they went and they submitted their Republican registration, and then when she went to the polling place, she didn't show up, and so it's a lot of stuff like that just, I think, happens. I don't know if there's any, I'm not saying it's any kind of fraud, but I think that kind of thing will happen,
So another thing I was thinking of, because we'd been planning to come to this, and I had a good question. I mean, I know there's been a lot of talk about maybe New York Mayor Michael Bloomberg entering the race, and I know there's also been a lot of sort of comparison between the Ron Paul run and the Ross Perot run in the media. I'm not saying I'm making a comparison, but I was curious if Paul might think about running on a third-party platform, or if you feel Paul supporters might support another third-party candidate, or do you think that the majority will vote the Republican ticket, whoever gets elected into the Republican primary?
Oh, I think Ron Paul supporters will stick with Ron Paul. I mean, I think, if he doesn't run as a third party, which he said he wasn't going to, if for me, I would just write him in if he didn't get the nomination. And I'll bet a lot of people would do the same. I don't think people will go to another candidate because it's not even so much, he says it's the message, but he carries the message so well. I don't know any other candidate that it wouldn't be like a total compromise.
Right. So it's definitely not sort of, where the sort of, the fringe left of the Democrats might have supported, Kucinich or something like that. People will still vote, for the Democratic Party. It's much more about Ron Paul himself, his positions and policies, and less about sort of, you know, the big tent Republican Party sort of just having a candidate that speaks for you in that, or
Well, I think Ron
it's not a very
Paul.
clear question.
Yeah, no, but it is. Ron Paul captures something that nobody else captures. That's why it's not quite about him, and it is the message, but nobody else, you know, like Kucinich. I mean, I was at a meeting with Kucinich supporters, and, you know, when they talk about just spending and spending and spending, you know, and we're broke. I mean, you know, China basically holds all our debt. So, yeah, we can go buy schools for every kid, but it's not us buying it. It's not our generosity. We're basically using Chinese borrowed money. So, you know, what are we really gaining? So I think it's just, you've got all these people that have this new, you know, this way of thinking that's not Republican. You know, it's not, it may be traditionally Republican, but it's not like this new Republican because it's anti-war, and it's not Democrat because it's not about spending a lot of money that we don't have. So I just think that's
So
why
it's like
it
a
won't
third
fit.
way.
Yeah, and it's not going to fit into any other little.
Great. All right. And so I guess is there what would be your summary of the night so far? What, you know, in terms of the ups and downs, like what are you, you know, what have you remained excited about tonight, and what might have disappointed you?
You know, it's funny because it never really has been for me about this night. I think this is probably the pivotal night of the whole year for the campaign, but and nothing really changes that much for me. I mean, I don't know what the results are going to be in San Francisco, and I'd be very happy, you know, ecstatic if they were really good. So that would. But other than that, it's just all about the message, and I really do see, you know, that my thinking has gotten clearer. I mean, I've grown so much. Other people here have grown so much, and I just think we're going to go on. You know, this isn't going to be stopped, and it's so much bigger than even an election.
Well, thank you so much for the time and for the delicious cake.
All right.
And then
it was very good.
What's your name?
Stephanie Burns.
Stephanie Burns. And what's your position?
I'm the organizer for the San Francisco Ron Paul meetup.
Perfect.
And we have cards as well.
And let's get one last talk about the cake. All right?
Okay. Sure.
Bring up the cake.
It's delicious cake. It really is. I love coconut. What can I say?
Who chose this cake?
Actually, Yasna brought it. She's a woman here with her kid and her husband, and she's been going out precinct walking with us every night for a little while.
Well, it's interesting because maybe I'm wrong. I thought I read.
Yeah, it's grassroots cake.
This is not corporate cake.
It's not
Nice.
neocon cake.
And with that, we're out. Thank you. That was perfect.